Good day everyone, I'm Jasmine Morales and I'm going to report the second step in social work helping process, which is planning. So planning is the link between assessment and intervention. Although it is often considered part of the assessment process, it is so important in the helping process that it should be discussed separately. The planning process translates the content of assessment into a goal statement that describes the desired results, and it is also concerned with identifying the means to reach the goals. It is also guided by the social work values and body of knowledge. Planning also allows the worker with the client's participation to move from problem definition to problem solution. And the goal of planning is plan change. There are also two major tasks involved during the planning stage, which are the goals and plans. Goals are ends. It is the desired or expected outcomes of an endeavor. It is qualified by the word optimate, general, or optimal. It means that the stated goals are the final, overall, or long-range results to which efforts are directed, and also have the terms interim goals, intermediate goals, and objectives, which are also used in social work practice. It is referred to specific short-term goals which facilitate the achievement of the long-term or overall goals. The two layers of goals, which are the general goal and objectives, should be used only if the situation calls in need to pursue and accomplish significant steps, usually one at a time, before the worker can reach the end state desired for the client. And if the goals are not complicated and do not require a lengthy time frame, the worker may just use the term goals or helping goals. And the important thing to bear in our minds is that goals should always relate to a client problem or solution. Furthermore, in formulating goals, it is important for the worker to consider her expectations as well as that the clients and those of the significant others in the client's environment. There are also two characteristics of goals. First is specific, concrete, and measurable. Goals that are stated in too broad or general terms are difficult to measure. This makes it difficult for the worker to know if they have been accomplished, thus making it difficult also to hold her accountable for her professional activities. Second is feasible. Goals should be realistic and attainable. Goals can be changed after they have been set, and it should be constantly evaluated, flexible, and observed. The second major task of planning is plan. So if there are ends, there should be means to achieve them. Plan is the means of achieving goals. This would consist of the specific actions or steps to be undertaken in order to reach the goals, jointly made by the worker and the client. They comprise what is called a helping plan, action plan, or an intervention plan. And by this, worker considering not just her own expectation but also those of the clients and significant others in his environment. Compton and Galloway reminded us that any differences in these expectations have to be negotiated and resolved. They also call our attention to a common error in social work, which is that offering an intervention plan without considering alternatives with the clients. Because in our settings, many social workers allow token gestures of client participation, but in reality, clients are often denied involved in intervention planning. There are also two components of plans, which is goals and action plans and units of attentions. Units of attentions is an intervention or action helping plan calls for an identification of other person, a system that focus on the change activity, and it is also important for every goal and objectives to specify which are the appropriate units of attention, followed by the strategy. Strategy is defined as an overall approach to change a situation. It is a term which originated from the military and refers to a battle plan. In social work, we now find a variety of approaches to practice, called the theories of practice. This conceptualization, like crisis intervention approach, mediating model, locally development, may be considered as strategies. There are also 5 factors that influence an intervention plan, which establish the social work principle of individualization. No two plans of action are alike, and each plan of action is designed to suit a particular client system and situation. First is the community in which is being carried out. The environment in which the plan takes place is an important consideration in planning. Second is the agency sanctioning the plan. The worker is influenced by the both constraints. Example, agency functions and kinds of services available. Funding considerations, time and attention that can be provided. And also the resources. Example, money and supplies. Third is the social problem that the plan is a response to. Societal attitudes and expectations about social problems vary, and the social workers should be recognized this because it influences her plan of actions. Fourth is the worker involved in the plan. Worker is a unique person who brings into the helping situation many facets of herself. Example, a professional, an employee, or a member of the community. Each of these exerts an influence to the worker, sometimes favorable, adheres to ethical conduct on her commitment to place client's interest above consideration. And lastly, the client. The client is a unique biopsychosocial being who has his own motivations, capacities, coping abilities, expectations, limitations, as well as preference.